afternoon, friends. First of all, I would like to congratulate my friend Sri Ajay Shankar Singh for release of his book today morning, and also want to congratulate CSR Research Foundation for organizing this event on emerging technology. So, first of all, let me tell you about NCRB, the National Crime Records Bureau. National Crime Record Bureau was established in the year 1986, and it is popularly known for its publication mainly on crime statistics, crime in India. Many of you must be aware of it. But it also has an important mandate to empower police with information technology. And NCRB is working in this direction since its inception. The main a mandate for NCRB includes to function as a clearinghouse of information on crime and criminals, so as to assist the investigators and others in linking crime to their perpetrators, to store, coordinate and disseminate information on interstate criminals from and to respective states, to national investigating agencies, to courts, to prosecutors, without having referred to the police station records. Then to collect and process crime statistics at the national level, to guide, modernize and capacity building of state crime record bureaus. Like NCRB, there is a state crime record bureaus in each state. And also the state fingerprint bureau. We have Central Fingerprint Bureau at NCRB, and similarly we have State Fingerprint Bureau, which maintains fingerprint records of the criminals in their respective state, and we maintain a national database at the national level. Then development of police IT application and for police across the country. And a very important responsibility given to NCRB is to monitor, coordinate, implement the CCTS project, Crime Criminal Tracking Networking and Systems, and creation of national database of sexual offenders, terrorism cases, fake Indian currency, etc. And many other specialized solutions like National Automated Fingerprint Identification System, Advanced Facial Recognition System, use of artificial intelligence for crime analytics, and so on. So this is the broad work which NCRB does. And now let me tell you about the CCTNS. The CCTNS project was launched in the year 2009, and earlier there was a standalone applications, the CCIS, which was launched in 1994, Crime Criminal Information System, and Common Integrated Police Application 2004, which was standalone. Means records were entered in the police station level, but the computers were not connected in the network. CCTNS provided that all these computers which were given to the police station for data entry were connected to a network. Now we have more than 16,000 plus police stations and 6,000 higher police offices is connected in a network, so that crime and criminal information can be shared on real-time basis across the country. And CCTS project aims at computerization of the police processes. Like there are various processes like filing of FIRs, arrest of accused, filing of arrest memos, charge sheet, seizure of property, etc. So it computerizes the process of the police working. It also provides pan-India search on the crime and criminal database at the national level, the police and other national investigating agencies, and to provide citizen-centric services, police-related citizen-centric services through effective use of information technology. It also enables sharing of crime and criminal data with the other pillars of criminal system like courts, prisons, forensic science laboratories, prosecutor offices, etc. And it allows easy generation of reports and various registers maintained at the police station level, like generation of the daily situation report, monthly crime reports, stolen property details, Malkhana registers, other registers maintained at the police station level. It has provided a database of the legacy records, because we have database of crime and criminals since 2004, and even some states are maintaining even before that. It has brought in the standardization of the record keeping across the country. It allows the timely access to the information to police officers, and it also provides ability to analyze crime patterns and modus operandi adopted by the criminals in various parts of the country. So, CCTNS, as I mentioned earlier, it provides citizen-centric services, police-related citizen-centric services through information technology platform, and all the states are providing 9 citizen-centric citizen services through state portals, citizen portals. These are filing of complaints. Now citizens can file complaints online from the comforts of their home, and they can check the status of the action taken on their complaints. They can view FIRs as per the Supreme Court directives. All the FIRs are published on the state citizen portals. They can apply for various NOCs through this portal. They can view details of the missing persons or the unidentified dead bodies found by the police on these portals. They can view details of the stolen properties or properties recovered by the police on this portal. So these are 9 mandatory services which are being provided by the state citizen portals. And many states have launched many other services also apart from these 9 services on the CCTNS platform. And NCRB has started giving central citizen services. What I talked about was these services are being provided by the states. But NCRB, using the national level CCTNS database, are providing 4 citizen services at the national level, like missing person search. We have database of accused arrested across the country, missing persons reported in the country, unidentified dead bodies found across the country, unidentified found persons by police in any part of the country who are not able to tell about their whereabouts or their address, who are mentally unsound. So their database photographs are available with us. So we have provided this citizen service to make a search about their missing kins or friends. They can use this service through digital police portal and can find out if there are any matching data available in our database. Similarly, a person who intends to buy a second-hand vehicle, they can enter registration number, engine number, chassis number and make of the vehicle to find out if the vehicle is stolen or involved in any crime. So this is also available free of cost, and one can generate vehicle NOC through this portal. This portal name is digitalpolice.gov.in. There is a link available on this portal, and many people are using this service for their benefit. Similarly, the information about proclaimed offenders on the portal, so that they can help police if they cite any proclaimed offender in their vicinity and help in apprehending them. And we have launched a mobile app for locating the nearest police station. Many times the tourist goes from one place to another place. Foreign tourists visit our country, they don't know about the police station. If something happens to them, they can use this app to find out the nearest police station. The app can be downloaded from this link provided on the district police portal, and it provides the route as well as also the contact details of that police station, so that in case of any emergency they can reach to that police station. And in a step forward, the government has launched interoperable criminal system to link all the pillars of the criminal justice system, like courts, prisons, forensic science laboratories, prosecuting offices, to improve the efficiency and the transparency in the system. It enables exchange of information among various pillars, like FIR goes to the court online. Objective of ICGS is to provide an aggregation platform to provide a national level search across all these pillars, like investigating agencies and the police officers in the country. They can search across the pillars, like police database, court database, prison database, forensic science database, to help them in the investigation process and to expedite and to resolve the case at the earliest. Apart from this, NCR is on many other important applications, like cyber crime reporting portal. You must have heard about it. Now citizen can lodge a complaint about a cyber crime from any part of the country. They do not visit to the police station. They do not go to any police offices, but they can lodge complaint online using cyberpolice.gov.in. It goes to the concerned police officer for an inquiry, and they can also check the status of the action taken by the police. Similarly, NCRD has launched many applications for the police officers. Crime Multi-Agency Center for sharing crime alerts among the police stations across the country, not only within the state but across the country. They can share the alerts, crime alerts. There is a fake Indian currency system monitoring system. There is a national automatic fingerprint identification system. So there are many applications which NCRB launched for the police officers for helping them in the investigation process. And this CCTNS, all these applications on CCTNS platform and ICTNS platforms to the police officers are accessible to only authorized users through the secure network, intranet, or through VPN using the user ID password or OTP authentication on their mobile phone, of the user's mobile phone. But is that enough for ensuring the security of the data? Because CCTNS is a huge database of crime and criminals. So we have firewall system, we have system of periodic security audit of the application. But is that enough? Or do we need to do something more, like adopt blockchain technology? You all heard about the blockchain technology, how it works, and what are the advantages of the blockchain technology. Let me discuss about how this technology can be used in CCTNS. We have not yet started doing that, but we can certainly utilize the expertise of the people who have already done some work in this field, and prepare a concept of how to use this technology in CCTNS to make the system more secure. In CCTNS, we have integrated investigation forms. We call it IF forms. Like for FIR, there is IF1. For charge sheet, it is IF1. Various IF forms are there. This models the workflow of the police and provides a digital information storage. CCTNS provides a digital information storage and retrieval tool. So IF forms are generated by the police during the various stages of investigation. And as per the current practice, IF forms information is entered in the computer, and the IF forms are printed and physically signed and then sent to the court to become a part of the judicial file. And some of the artifacts which cannot be printed out, such as videos, forensic dumps, etc., they are copied in external mediums such as DVD, CD, or hard drive and submitted to the courts. CCTNS inherently supports the e-signing of the documents, which can be leveraged for this activity. Recent technological advancements in computing capacity have given birth to an immutable and revolutionary technology platform like distributed ledger technology, as you all know, which makes the history of any digital asset unalterable and transparent through the use of decentralization and cryptographic hashing. Information held on a blockchain exists as a shared and continually reconciled database. Blockchain databases aren't stored in any one single location, meaning the record it keeps are truly public and easily verifiable, making the data accessible to anyone on the internet. So CCTNS generates various digital assets as a part of the workflow processes, and these digital assets may be integrated investigation forms, maybe case diaries, maybe witness statements, which are digitally signed and persisted in blockchain so that they truly become immutable, and in any changes in those entities are clearly visible and correlated with actual events of the investigation. CCTNS, as I mentioned earlier, has e-sign functionality, but it is based upon the document signing certification issued by a certifying authority for each user. This approach, although satisfying the clause of the IT Act 2000, but requires continuous reissuance of the signing certificate to the users and carries a significant financial overhead. This can be overcome by using Aadhaar eKYC based e-sign, which can be used widely across the department, and even in case of members of public while filing complaint or recording witness statement. The primary step in the process to add an interceptor which can invoke the e-signing service when a workflow has been completed in CCTLS. The respective documents are to be signed by the investigating officer or the complainant or witness, as the case may be. Here the point to be liberated is that not all digital assets can be e-signed, and digital signature standards are mainly concerned with only documents. However, in case of other assets such as images, videos, which can be a part of evidence or case properties, the alternative is to generate cryptographic hash and store in an external entity such as which is incidentally carried out natively by blockchain. The documents and electronic assets are then to be hashed and saved to the blockchain so that there is an immutable record of the document which can be verified on need basis. This process will be carried out asynchronously, as the consensus between the blockchain nodes is something that may take some time, and invoking it synchronously may impact usability and user experience of CCTLS instance. In the end, I want to conclude by saying that blockchain is the way to move forward, and right set of ecosystem should emerge to adopt these technologies quickly. And standard specification for blockchain implementation should be developed so that everybody need not be re-engineer the same thing again and again. With this, I thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.